Where the stimulus bill stands right now, and major news on the $15 an hour minimum wage hike. Welcome back everyone to your stimulus check and stimulus package update for today. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how have you guys been. Let me know down below in the comments. I'm curious to hear. But we have major news surrounding the $15 an hour provision that we did not know whether or not it would end up in this stimulus bill. So we have to discuss that. We also have to discuss what some top lawmakers are now saying, commenting on this ruling of the $15 an hour, and where the stimulus package does stand right now, the current state of affairs. So yes, President Biden has now announced he will be smashing that like button. Be sure that you do give this video a big thumbs up. If you have been enjoying my content, I would appreciate that. Smash the like button for me. And if you want to see more videos from my channel, make sure that you are subscribed. Click that big red button. Also click the notification bell as well. That will actually notify you when I do post a brand new video, as the news is constantly changing. And I post videos now every single solitary day, so make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. Let's get started. So yes, a ruling in the Senate on Thursday dealt a severe blow to the hopes of Democrats who are looking to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour as part of the new COVID-19 relief bill. This will essentially doom the proposal in the legislation that is set up for a vote in the Congress by the end of this week. The parliamentarian, or the in-house referee essentially of the Congress, had ruled that the provision was not compliant with the rules governing the budget process that Congress is using to pass the bill with simple majorities. This is, of course, the reconciliation process. Now, this is not an absolute shocker. This is not surprising. I think we saw this coming. We knew that this amendment was not going to end up in the bill probably, but it is certainly a very devastating day for the people like Bernie Sanders and other progressive Democrats who are seeking to raise the minimum wage. The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was very upset, and he responded rather quickly saying, "We are deeply disappointed in this decision. We are not going to give up the fight to raise the minimum wage to $15 to help millions of struggling American workers and their families. The American people deserve it, and we are committed to making it a reality." This was also a big victory for more fiscally conservative, moderate Democrats and Republicans alike, who are totally against raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. They probably wouldn't even want to raise it a couple dollars, let alone $15. But others would argue that it's time to raise the minimum wage in America. It hasn't been raised in 10 years. Actually, under the presidency of Biden Obama is the last time it was raised. So what are your thoughts? Do you believe that it's good that this was left out of the bill so we could move forward and actually progress the stimulus bill? Or do you believe that this was absolutely necessary to be included in the stimulus package, and this is a very upsetting day for us because we should have had it in there? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. Basically, the reasoning behind this was that the so-called Byrd Rule limits acceptable provisions in the reconciliation process to those that involve taxing and spending. Democrats can still try to pass a wage hike through regular order, but that would require 60 Senate votes. So you would need some Republicans to hop on board as well, which all but ensures failure because of lack of Republican support, of course. So we're not going to be seeing this even in a separate piece of legislation, at least for this year at this time, unfortunately. Republicans like Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, who's actually the ranking Republican on the House Budget Committee, praised the referee's ruling and basically declared victory, saying, quote, "Very pleased the Senate parliamentarian has ruled that a minimum wage increase is an inappropriate policy change in reconciliation. The decision reinforces reconciliation cannot be used as a vehicle to pass major legislative change by either party on a simple majority vote. This decision will, over time, reinforce the traditions of the Senate." So Republicans are obviously very happy about this ruling. Not surprisingly, the Senate Budget Committee Chair, Bernie Sanders, was distraught over this decision. He actually suggested another way to provide incentives for a wage hike through the budget process, saying, quote, "In the coming days, I will be working with my colleagues in the Senate to move forward with an amendment to take tax deductions away from large, profitable corporations that don't pay workers at least $15 an hour, and to provide small businesses with the incentives they need to raise wages." He finished by saying that amendment must be included in this reconciliation bill. So Sanders is essentially suggesting that instead of directly hiking the minimum wage to $15 an hour nationwide, instead you punish these large corporations that don't pay it, and hopefully in hopes that you pave the way for other corporations to follow suit and abide by the $15 an hour provision. Other Democrats considered other ways to raise the minimum wage. For example, the Senate Finance Committee Chair, Ron Wyden, a Democrat from Oregon, had said, quote, "I'm looking at a tax penalty for mega corporations that refuse to pay a living wage." Again, not directly raising the minimum wage, but rather hoping that these penalties and punishments will then force them to pay a higher wage. Would you be more in agreement with that if you disagree with $15 an hour? Do you believe that we should actually punish corporations for not paying a living wage? What are your thoughts on that kind of idea, as opposed to attacking small businesses, rather attack the bigger, larger corporations that can afford to actually pay these wages? What are your thoughts on this idea? Let me know down below in the comments. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not throwing in the towel yet for the fight for $15 an hour. She had recently tweeted just hours ago saying, quote, "The Senate parliamentarians' ruling is disappointing. Raising the minimum wage would give 27 million plus Americans a raise during this devastating economic crisis. House Dems are determined to hashtag fight for 15. This policy will remain in H.R. 1319 and pass tomorrow." The House Speaker also championed and advocated for the American Rescue Plan in an earlier tweet, saying states, cities, and countries across the country need our help. Now is the time to jumpstart our economy and defeat this virus. Hashtag from the front lines, hashtag American Rescue Plan. So after this major ruling by the parliamentarian, where do we stand right now, and where do we go from here? What are the next steps? Well, the House version of the bill, which still includes the $15 an hour provision, is expected to get a vote as soon as Friday. Then the Senate will take up the bill, and they are expected to still use the reconciliation process to pass it through a simple majority. So in the Senate, where the House bill will have to be amended and changed and revised in some way, shape, or form, then the bill would go back to the House, where it would have to pass once again. Now, there's no technical deadline for this bill to be passed, but there is in a sense, because the current iteration of unemployment benefits that are the expanded unemployment benefits under the Trump stimulus bill will expire March 14th. That's the date in which congressional leaders and Democrats have said that they must pass the next relief bill into law in time for that March 14th deadline. And if they don't pass it in time, how many Americans could actually lose unemployment benefits? The answer is a lot. One estimate from the Century Foundation had predicted that 4 million people would lose benefits in mid-March, and then an additional 7.3 million would lose benefits in subsequent weeks. That brings us to a whopping total of perhaps more than 11 million people that could lose unemployment benefits. But Democrats have vowed time and time again that they will pass it in time for that deadline, and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer had emphasized this just as recently as Wednesday when he said, quote, "We are on track to get this bill done and get it on the president's desk before the expiration of the enhanced unemployment benefits, which is March 14th. So the drama will continue to unfold over these next couple weeks as Democrats scramble and try to find a way to get this bill passed in time. The House of Representatives, or the lower chamber of Congress, is on track. They are expected to still pass this bill on Friday. So do stay tuned for that, because this will be a consequential decision in stimulus. More critical updates and developments will all be found right here on this channel as we await the House's decision. The bill is expected to pass the House of Representatives, as it is their version of the stimulus package. So you will see tremendous unanimous support of this stimulus bill in the House. More critical updates and developments are to come very, very shortly. If you did enjoy this video, as always, make sure that you do give it a big thumbs up, smash the like button, make sure that you are subscribed. You're not going to miss a beat. So many more updates are to come. Be sure that you do click that big red button. Also click the notification bell as well. That will actually notify you when I do post a brand new video. You'll be first in line to see it before anyone else gets to it, so make sure that notifications are turned on. And if you'd like to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, use my links down below in the description. When you sign with Robinhood and or Webull, you get some free stocks, some value to thousands of dollars in some cases. So make sure that you use my links down below in the description, get some free stocks, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Let's cross our fingers for that House vote. See you next time.